back in 2000, my wife and I had a 2000 Toyota Land Cruiser, and we loved that truck to death, and we drove the wheels off of it. Right around 2003, we decided that we wanted to replace it because it was at 70,000 miles or something like that. And what my wife really had her heart set on was the Lexus LX, the big full-size sport utility. Really exactly the same truck as the Toyota Land Cruiser, but it just had that kind of Lexus panache. What she really liked about it was that diamond white pearl color that you could get into it. It really did look nice. And so I had a buyer in Los Angeles who bought a lot of high-end stuff for me back then, and he found one with like 5,000 miles. It was perfect, and so he had it shipped up to me, and I was going to surprise my wife with this great truck. Well, it comes in on my day off, and unbelievable, there's a customer looking for exactly that kind of truck out on the lot, and sees this diamond white pearl Lexus, and goes, oh my God, I got to have it. What is it going to take to own it? So they looked and saw what we paid for the car, they marked it up accordingly, and sold it to him. So I come back to work the next day, and the car that I bought for my wife is sold to somebody else. And so I was kind of on an emergency. I got to get a car really, really quick. So I called the same buyer, and he says, well, I've got a diamond white pearl, but it's a GX460, not the big LX. And it did have big, huge 22-inch wheels. It looked really nice. And I figured, what the heck. My wife's more impressed by color, I guess, than the scale of the vehicle. And so, although I wasn't a fan of the GX, I didn't like the way they looked. I thought they were a little funky looking. The car comes up, I deliver it to my wife, she loves it to death. Well, let me tell you something. We loved that car for about 10 years. It was one of the best cars that I ever owned. It just killed me selling that car because although I didn't love it at first, I sure loved it as the years went by. It was unbelievably reliable, did anything we needed it to do. The kids loved it. They grew up all in it. It was great. Wasn't too big, wasn't too small. Held our gear, held our kids. Snow, mud, mountain passes, whatever it was, it did it great. Now, I feel kind of the same about the GX460. When the GX460 came out, I wasn't quite a huge fan of the way that it looked. It didn't look quite right to me. And also, the size of it didn't seem quite right. Wasn't too small, wasn't too big. I didn't understand. The third row seat didn't make any sense because it was too small for a third row seat, but too big really not to have a third row seat. And as I've come to know the GX460 over the years, especially the restyled 2014 GX460, I've learned to like them probably as much as I like the outgoing GX470. What starts this car under the hood is a 301 horsepower Toyota V8 engine, or Lexus V8 engine. This is actually the same truck as the 4Runner. And one of the things that separates it, kind of the thing that separates it from everything else, is that it really is a truck. And so this is actually a body on frame. And so when you look at something like an Acura MDX, which is great, it's a Honda Accord at its core, and Honda Accords kind of make up so many things throughout the Honda and Acura lineup. This is not like a Camry-based platform like the Lexus RX is. This is a Toyota 4Runner-based platform. But one of the nice things about the 4Runner is, they do wonderful off-road, and of course they last forever, even if they take enormous amounts of abuse. And so for a family that likes to go to the mountains, that likes to ski, that likes to pull a boat, that likes to really kind of use their truck in truck-like ways, this is a tough act to follow. 301 horsepower, that's not a lot of horsepower. It goes 0 to 60 in 7.5 seconds. That's not super fast, but that's not what these are all about. These are about how you feel getting from 0 to 60, how you feel getting to those higher speeds. You feel good, you feel comfortable, you feel stable. You don't feel like this is some muscle car. You just feel like it's a luxury car that does what you want it to do. The lines on this beautiful luxury car are in fact beautiful. The 2014 is restyled and it does look awfully nice. The prior years looked a little bit boxy, and that's kind of the allure of the GX. They tend to be a little bit boxy, but inside, well, not so much of a big difference between the 2013 and 2014, but it does look really nice. Beautiful leather and wood steering wheel. Not a giant navigation unit, but these aren't considered like super high-tech sport utilities. They're just posh, they're stylish, they're smooth, they're cool, they're nice. Everything's very easy, big buttons. This is a premium package, so it has leather instead of that new luxe material that everybody's doing these days. And it does have heated seats, it does have air-conditioned seats. Nice wood, I mean generous leather, and the two-tone stitching looks really, really nice. It's cool, very comfortable, tons of headroom and everything like that. Let's jump in the back seat. Now, the back seat is comfortable. And so if I've got 2 kids and maybe 2 kids and a small kid, something like that, if I have 3 kids and none of them are really all that big, this is a really nice size. However, if I have kids who are big, one of the limitations of the GX is that smallish third row seat. So I point out that the size of this car doesn't make a lot, it's not quite big enough to have a full-size third row seat. And the thing is, and I don't know if we're going to be able to pick this up on camera, but the third row seat in the back is awfully, awfully small. We'll go to the back and see it from back there. They still kept their neat the rear door. It's a swing-out door. They're the only car that I know that does this. They did this on the former generation as well. A lot of people frown on that swing-out door. Having owned one with the swing-out door for many years, I love it. I can't imagine any other alternative. I don't have to worry about opening it up and the garage being in the way or anything like that. It makes a lot of sense for just getting in and out is really easy. I know a lot of people say, well, in the rain, I like to be covered up, and I don't disagree with that. I just think that overall, it works better with a swing-out door than with a flip-up door. Also, if you're not super tall, you don't have to reach out for that door. Now, as I fold this down, you can see these seats aren't all that tall, and when I fold them down, they go all the way to the second row seat. And so that's the only room that you have, actually, and so some of that is taken up by the cushion. So you really have a very, very modest amount of leg room in the third row seat. So for my biggest kid, my 11-year-old would only be in the third row seat if he was on punishment. Maybe my 9-year-old could get comfortable in the third row seat, but I think even for a 9-year-old, it might be a little bit snug. I'm thinking, 5, 6, 7 years old might be comfortable in the third row seat, and beyond that, not so much. One of the other complexities is just getting into the third row seat is a little bit fussy. It does not work as seamlessly as you might think. And then the cushion is stowed underneath the backrest. And so you have to kind of dig in there and pull the cushion out. And so a small kid going into the third row seat, they're not going to be a deal on all that. Now, these do tow. They tow really well, in fact. They tow 6,500 pounds, and most of them are set up already for tow. These premium package models also have the parking sensors in the rear. They have them in the front as well. The style, again, it's different in the back, different in the front as well than the 2013 model, and that's definitely a good thing. They look really, really cool. 18-inch wheels with Michelin rubber. The running boards are all standard. Navigation is standard. Moonroof is standard. They have a lot of standard features. I'm going to jump in and turn it on. One nice thing about buying a pre-owned Lexus is that the warranty is really nice. Got a smooth engine too. This one has 9,000 miles, and so the warranty bumper to bumper from Lexus, 4 years, 60,000 miles. Also 6 years, 70,000 mile powertrain. Not that they're known for powertrain problems, but what's peace of mind worth? You just know that you're covered from Lexus. You have a weird engine problem, weird transmission problem, up to 70,000 miles, they're going to go ahead and take care of it for you. Stylish car. Very roomy, very nice. The big plus on this is just they drive awesome. Perfect height, perfect sight lines. You feel great out in traffic. It's got enough low-end guts to get onto the freeway ahead of that bus, and you want to give it a good surge of power. I mean, it's not fast, but it's got power. It's got as much power as you probably ever need. The whole team jumping into the back with all their gear, taking it over the pass, not a problem at all. Pulling a boat, 6,500 pounds, you're not going to pull too many boats much bigger than that. Just a overall very impressive vehicle. I think the standout points maybe don't stand out as much as some of the standout points on the other brands, but the whole package is a really terrific package. And I can speak from my own experience, the resale value on the GX series is phenomenal. They don't sell a lot of them, and so obviously they're spendy new. But when you buy them pre-owned, this one's scrubbed off a lot of that depreciation at 9,000 miles. They're actually a really intelligent investment for something that is so stylish and sophisticated. And if you have any questions about this car, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. My name is Joe Tunney. I'm the pre-owned director at Honda of Seattle and Toyota of Seattle. And you can reach me anytime at joet@hondaofseattle.com.